Hey guys, okay, so today I'm talking to you about the importance of empathy and why personally I feel like empathy is so much of like a really strong contributing factor to like what makes someone nice and what makes someone very understanding and sort of approachable, and generally the people who are like the nicest in the world or the most charitable or whatever, usually they are extremely empathetic people. I think firstly empathy is very important because it if you are an empathetic person, it allows you to kind of put yourself in another person's shoes and to really make realistic in your mind what it might be like to, be living um, with an illness that someone might have or going through certain circumstances somebody else might be. It just allows you to, you know, sort of as much as you can, like, empathize with them in that you can sort of feel for them and for what they're going through. And it therefore allows you to be less judgmental because when you understand what someone's going through, it makes it much harder to be sort of superficially judgmental and to discard or, cast aside certain things that you might not like about their character. For example, I have an auntie in my family who is apparently sort of very harsh and punitive to her children. Not like cruel, but not exactly warm. But then when I think of what she's been through in life with her anorexia and her very sort of callous husband, I think, given that, then I can kind of understand why she would be like that. So, that kind of thing, I can empathize with her because I know what she's been through and, putting myself in her position, yeah, I can kind of get why you would be like that. But then again, I'm not saying that you have to be, empathetic all the time. Sometimes, well, there's empathy and there's sympathy. Empathy is kind of more like you have more of an understanding why someone's like that. You don't necessarily have to sort of think they're wonderful. Sympathy is more the thing where you feel for someone and you almost pity them, and it's a sort of positive feeling. I also think that among women, there needs to be a lot more empathy and a lot more like understanding. So, when you see a woman or a girl or whatever, and you look at her and like, I know we all check each other out, we all check what, each other's like wearing or what our makeup's like or whatever. When you look at someone and they see that you're looking at them and you don't have an expression on your face, it can come across as sort of, well, personally not for me, but I can imagine it comes across at times as quite threatening or cold behaviour. So, when you're looking at someone and you're checking them out or you're looking at what they're wearing and they see that you're doing this to them, they can feel threatened and watched and observed. And, if you just smile at them, if you just sort of, like, look at them and, like, just give them that smile, that shows them that you're not there to sort of judge them and criticise them, and that, you understand what it's like between women because there is a huge amount of competition. And if we can just sort of like smile at each other and just sort of, give that like nod or the look of, yeah, I think you look good today, or not just like looking at them like harsh and critically assessing them and saying, what they're wearing and all that stuff. I mean, I'd certainly do it, and I think it makes people feel better because, no one wants to be sort of coldly like looked up and down at. It just doesn't make you feel like that great. You don't know what someone else is thinking. So, if you just smile at someone, it'll make you feel better. It'll make your confidence better. And then when you perhaps look at somebody, maybe you can smile at them and give them the kind of signs that, you look good today, or, that you're sort of approving of somebody. Because I think we've all been there when someone has like checked us out and, we check people out and we're not sort of actively like communicating with these people in the way that, if we're going to look at them, we can at least do them like the favour of, smiling if we like what we look at. So, and plus, like, with empathy, I swear, like, among my best friends in life, the ones who have been empathetic and the ones who have had the capacity to put themselves in my shoes, or, you know, the ones where I can put myself in their shoes quite successfully, I think those have been the friendships that I've got the most out of, because there's just been a much more transparent level of understanding. And when I understand someone, and when I can completely or almost completely comprehend what they're going through and what their troubles might be, it makes it so much easier to be honest and to communicate like fully with someone. I know when, you know, people maybe at my college, Henley College, you know, not all of them really understood what I'd been through with my eating disorder, and I think, you know, if they had just tried a bit harder to kind of understand what position in life I was at relative to them, then, you know, they might have liked me a bit more, because I must say there were a grand number of people in my year group who were extremely intolerant and very cold towards me. And that's another thing. I think empathy can make you a lot more tolerant, and tolerance is so important these days to make peace between, you know, different cultures and, you know, different minority groups. So, you know, even if, you know, you see someone from a different minority group, it can be perceived as threatening or cold just to like look them out like you're different. You know, give them a smile. Try to break down those like unspoken barriers between people, because at the end of the day, it'll make life and the world so much better if we could just, you know, sort of communicate in some way that we can be friends, and that, you know, even if we don't know each other, just to have like a smile between two people, it can be so powerful, and it just shows that there's like a level of acceptance even if you don't know somebody. And I think it makes people kinder. I think if you smile at somebody, you feel better about it, because, you know, it's not nice to always be the one hating on someone, or the one who sort of checks everyone out with your eagle eyes. So yeah, just try and be more empathetic. Try and like understand someone as fully as you can, and, you know, don't just judge somebody straight away based on what you see or what you've heard. I mean, it's very easy to do, and, you know, among with peer pressure, I mean, it's so easy, and that can lead to very sort of bullying situations and feelings of hostility, and all these things can be so easily addressed by reducing like hostility, confusion, and increasing just communication and understanding and empathy, and therefore tolerance and peace. So I hope I've been clear in this video. I really think, you know, if you can empathise with someone and sympathise with them if you need to, then people will be much happier, and there will be far less suffering and, you know, bad feeling in the world. Because, you know, the more we understand each other, the more that we can tolerate each other. Because the more I understand you guys, the more I can put myself in your shoes, and vice versa. So yeah, stay tuned for another video soon. Ciao.